everybody, Jason here, host of the BombCast, and this might be the very first edition of the Carpool Karaoke BombCast. Why? Because I'm sitting in my car, but no, I don't have a guest with me in the car. We've got Brad Montgomery with us and Allie. Super excited to be joining all of you guys. But before I go on anymore, Brad, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone?
What's up, everybody? My name is Brad Montgomery. I'm based out of Denver, Colorado. I'm a professional full-time speaker. I'm a motivational speaker for business audiences.
And Brad, how did you get into that? How did you land there?
I wanted to work at BombBomb. You guys weren't hiring. This was all that was left. I started out right out of college doing entertainment. I was a comedian and a magician for years, and I kind of morphed into professional speaking. But I've never had a traditional job. I've never had a boss, really.
That's pretty nice. And if I remember correctly, like inductee to the Hall of Fame of Public Speaking. Did I get that right?
Isn't that nice? Yeah. Yeah, I've been lucky. I've got some nice honors and awards, and that was pretty cool. When you're voted in by your peers to this thing they call the Hall of Fame, that feels pretty great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So tell us, of everybody that's on, and Allie, why don't you go ahead and say hi as well? Sorry, I know that people don't know you're on as well.
Hey guys, I'm joining from headquarters because Jason's obviously traveling, so I'll be keeping an eye on your comments, so keep bringing them in.
Awesome. Well, thanks. Yes, and everybody. So today we brought Brad on because Brad, not only as a motivational speaker, traveling, has been doing video for a long time and doing some video tactics and strategies. And so we want to pick his mind and his brain to understand exactly how he's using video in his business. So make sure you drop your comments in, ask your questions. We'll make sure to get those to Brad. But Brad, I want to kind of first thing kick things off. Like, why did you start using video in the first place? What was kind of that moment for you where you were like, I got to start doing video?
Because it works. It's not that deep. It just works.
But how did you find out that it works? Like, when was that aha moment where you're like, oh my gosh, this works?
I was doing video before BombBomb by far. Like, I was recording video old school and then trying to import it into YouTube and doing all that crap and getting the link and sending it out in an email. Because I'm convinced that with every job, it's important. But in my particular job, they really want to check me out. They want to kind of feel like they know me a little bit and like, what's it going to be like? And I know the easiest way to cut through all the crap and the way to make it 10 times better than an email is to say, hi, my name's Brad. I'd like to work with you. That means video. So there was no epiphany, Jason, but definitely before BombBomb, I was doing it the hard way.
Yeah. But you've been doing a lot of other types of video as well. Like you've been checking out your YouTube channel. Like you've been kind of producing video. Why? Like, what's been that process?
That is relevant, I think, because I am pretty experienced with the need for video. So in my job, there's no resume. No one cares about my resume. If they want to hire me, they're going to want to see what I look like on video. And for that, they want kind of the first type of video I make, which is a professionally produced preview video, like a commercial. What does Brad look like on stage? What does he talk about? Let's imagine that. So that one I don't do myself. I bring in outside pros and people that actually know how to do things, and they edit together and add music. And it's it's very important, but it's got one thing. The second thing I do is more and more, especially with time, as we move into 2018, every business is using more video. So I'm doing that too. So I'm creating more of a vlog type thing. So I have travel vlog and, like kind of what is Brad thinking about today? And I try to make that fun and upbeat and a mix between professional, meaning I use a nice camera and nice microphone, and I work hard with editing to make it fast paced and fun. But at the same time, I want to YouTube-y. I don't want it as professional as that first category, that commercial preview. And then the last thing that I do a lot of is what you guys are helping me do, which is this kind of thing. Hi, my name's Brad. Thanks for your call. I hope you hire me.
I think that's interesting. I especially kind of think for our audience that, when we talk about video, there's so many categories of types of video. It's not all just the same thing. It's not all just a one-to-one message. And there can be that variance. With your blog, I'm curious, are you producing that? Are you doing all the editing and taking the time and creating that? Or do you have help there as well?
Yeah, I do have some help, but it turns out I also like it. So, so I've been it's kind of a fun thing for me. It started honestly when I was on the road and I just did not want to go on the road again. And I said to myself, all right, this will be fun. This will be the thing that makes it fun for me. So I was walking through the airport with a selfie stick and all this. It was fun. So yeah, I do a lot of that myself because I enjoy it. But I get help when I get stuck, and I get help if I'm desperate for time or something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. How do you resource that help? Who's helping you there?
Upwork.com. And Craigslist.com. So I just lost my videographer. She was fantastic because she did it freelance. She was a teacher of video in New York. I live in Colorado, but we don't, we have the internet. And I'm so bummed because she just took a job. So I'm looking for a new pro.
Gotcha. And that's, I think the reason I ask is I know a lot of our audience is always trying to figure out ways to resource, videographers. How do you find them? So do you kind of just put up do you go and look for people that are doing freelance there and then just reach out to them?
Yeah. I'm looking for those shooters who, I'm looking for the people that freelance to the local news. So there are NBC people with NBC cameras or CBS cameras. They're awesome. And they're not working on Tuesday morning. Or they're not working on, Friday night, and they're happy to fill in some time. So depending on those guys' schedule, you can get killer talent for not much if you're flexible and if you kind of know what you ask for. And I've done it a lot, and I know to ask about their cameras and their experience. And I tell them that I'm not going to pay top dollar. I'm on a budget. I don't want a fancy film crew. I want the fancy shooter who does editing, who works on the side.
Right. And you're able to get that at a reasonable price, which is awesome.
Yeah. But again, I mean, for your purposes, and often when I'm talking to my peers, people who are presenters or doing entertainment or speaking, it doesn't have to be that good. I want it to be good, and I really like the fancy camera, and I think we all need the fancy audio. But in the end, if that's what's keeping you from doing it is a better camera and a professional shooter, just stop and do it. Get out your iPhone and your 14-year-old and have them hold it and just go.
I couldn't agree more. I'm curious, so you have these different styles that you're doing. How do you balance, when you go to your website, you have this professionalism, obviously, because you're on stage, and that's kind of how you represent yourself. But then, as we dug into your BombBomb account, I was seeing videos of you in a soccer jersey and t-shirt and just kind of, more casual. How do you balance how you present yourself to your audience when you're reaching out and doing business like you do through BombBomb?
Well, I love that question because it makes me sound smart. Like I have a balance and I have a plan and I have a strategy. That's nice. I appreciate that. No, here's the deal. I work here. This is my home office. I'm either on the road with a client, or I'm here in my office, or I'm out playing. So that means if I'm here, I just record. And if I'm wearing a gray fleece, then I just record it in a gray fleece. So there's not a lot of strategy behind it. I do think it fits with me because my people I talk to are smart, right? We all know that when we talk to somebody, they might be at home. They might be wearing a fleece. People don't wear suits all the time. So I think it is consistent with my brand, whatever that is, to let people know, I am a human. I don't wear a suit every day, especially when I'm in my office. And I know also that if they're talking to me, they've got a conference, they've got a meeting, and it's not like you're buying a stapler on Amazon if you're buying what I offer. You don't just say, it's $2 and it's blue, add to cart. For me, they're going to look at my website and they're going to read some stuff, and they're probably going to look at multiple videos. So having one video come like this in a home office where I'm not dressed up just seems like, that's normal. He's a real guy.
I like that. Ali, anything you're seeing on Facebook or any questions you have?
I just wanted to talk a little bit more about kind of your branding. I was looking at your YouTube channel, Brad, and I noticed that you're kind of going off the fun vibe a lot. How does that play more into even the videos that you're posting on Facebook, like your day in the life of your speaker and things like that.
The fun, well, I'm not positive I understand the question. Like, how do I create a fun vibe, or what do you ask me?
It looks like with YouTube, when you're doing like SEO keywords and formatting, you're trying to push out to a specific audience. So it looks like you're trying to push towards that fun vibe and attract that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm a motivation. If you hire me, you want a speaker that is proven. So they're nervous that I'm going to suck. And then they want to know that am I upbeat or like a downer, and I'm upbeat. And they don't always ask it, but I want them to know I'm funny on stage. I can be funny on purpose. And so I'm definitely, those are my people.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm working hard to make sure that if you want those things, that you can find me.
I like that, especially kind of as we think about our audience and you think about, we have a lot of real estate agents that are watching. We have a lot of mortgage professionals that are watching. This idea that like, it's okay to craft in your videos the experience of who you are, so that when your clients or your customers are choosing to work with you, they know exactly what they're getting. And I feel like a lot of times people kind of try to hide behind, or that's not that they try to hide behind anything. I think they try to meet everyone. They want to be able to service all of the people that are out there. They don't want to turn any business away or let their personality be something that drives people away. But I think a lot of people also have experiences where if it's not the right fit, it ends up being a pretty bad business deal, right? It doesn't end up going super well for either side. And sometimes it's okay just to come out and be who you are. Where did you find that, Brad, that ability to kind of get past some of those insecurities that a lot of people might feel, to where you're just like, this is me, and you're either going to choose to work with me or you're not?
I still don't have that. I still want everyone to love me. Come on. That's there is a thing, and I think it's aging. The short answer to your question is you grow up a little bit. So my perspective as a 52-year-old is that people who are at the very beginning of their business careers have even more of that imposter syndrome than the rest of us have, because they definitely are afraid they're going to be discovered. So what we see with them, and this is definitely true with me when I was younger, we're more dressed up and we're trying to form our language like we're serious and we're businessy, and we use language like thanks for reaching out and all this crap, because we think people want that and we want to fit in. And then as we age, we realize, oh, they're going to like me or not based on my abilities to provide what I'm promising to provide. So there's that weird irony where you finally start to trust yourself, like, I got the goods, and you're able to give them a little bit more of what they actually want, which is not this whatever we all feel like they're expecting, a business person. And say like, no, I'm competent and I'm professional, and yeah, sometimes I wear a fleece and I use poorly constructed sentences and I make jokes. It's totally normal, because we're like that. And I used to, at the beginning of my career, even on stage, I was more dressed up than I am now. And I remember meeting my clients who hired me to be a comedian. I met them in a very serious way. And, later on, I realized that's a major disconnect. But it kind of seems normal. And I see that now in every industry. Real estate, you mentioned it. Yeah. Young real estate agents, they're always overdressed, right? They're just, and their hair's slicked back and they're super, like, I don't think I want that. I don't want to get in your car and drive around and look at 12 houses unless I like you. So like, calm yourself down, have a beer, let's see the real person, and then we'll go drive to 12 houses.
And what I love about that is I think that principle of what you're speaking to is, we hear this theme all of the time on the BombCast with our guests of people just saying, be authentic, be you. But what you're talking about there is that next level of how do you actually do that, right? Because I think everyone hears that. They're like, yeah, that's great for you, but that's not necessarily where I'm at. And at the end of the day, you got to do a little bit of personal work to feel like you're comfortable being who you are. And as you do that, you're going to just get more and more comfortable being on camera. And oh, by the way, being on camera is a great way to help soothe some of that, like, feeling ridiculous sometimes, because you watch yourself back and you're like, wait, is that really what I look like? Is that really what I sound like? And it's like, yeah, it's a mirror. That is exactly what you look and sound like.
Yeah.
So
sorry, pal. That's you.
That's you. That's what you're stuck with. And people still do business with you. So it works out.
Well,
yeah, go ahead.
I got something for you. So my job, as you know, is standing in front of audiences on stage. I've been doing that for almost 30 years. And that same thing we're talking about now applies to what I was doing on stage, where it used to be on stage, I was very slick and very scripted. And I was kind of more serious. And even my jokes were presented in a more serious way. And now I'm good at it. And now I'm older and I realize our audience doesn't want us to be perfect, because the guy on perfect is not real. They know that. And they really want to feel like, oh, I met that person on stage and they were with me. And sometimes they mess up and the computer screws up and they get lost to what they were talking about, because everyone does. And they use irregular verbs or whatever. And oddly, the imperfection on stage makes my product better. It makes what I'm delivering better if I'm not slick. So even in my job, if there's something I've done a million times and I know how to do it, I still want to act as though I haven't done it a million times and create imperfection. You're putting imperfection in on purpose because people like that. So how does that relate to BombBomb as a communication tool? It means that imperfection sells. It's like something I do it on purpose. Don't get me wrong. I'm 99% imperfect, but occasionally I really know what I'm doing and I got to act imperfect. It's great. It's not just normal. It helps your business.
How has that, do you have any examples of videos that you've sent or people that you've been connecting with that are going to hire you where that actually ended up taking place?
What, meaning imperfections?
An imperfection, I imagine you're working with, business executives who are making decisions of whether or not they're going to choose to work with you or not. And kind of this principle, how has that worked out for you in some videos, or can you think of an example where that took place?
I can't think of an example except for to tell you my BombBomb policy, which is just one take. That means if I go down this sentence and I realize, oh crap, I got to tell them this before I'm going to do it just like we would in person, which is to say, oh wait, I forgot to tell you about the other thing. I'm not going to redo it. Let's go. And that means every single video is imperfect because I don't speak like a book. I got a lot of imperfections in my language. So I do it all the time. And the feedback is the same as I know what you guys get. When you send people videos, they write back and they're like, that was fun. And it was so great to hear from you. And I can't believe you made me a video. Oh my God. And what they don't say is, wow, do you not know grammar? I mean, that sentence, serious. I wrote it down and it doesn't even make sense.
Right.
They don't say that. They don't say, I can't believe you have mustard on your shirt, because one, they can't see it. And two, they just don't care.
Yeah. I love that. Ali, anything on Facebook or anybody that's just joined us, feel free to drop a question in, a comment. We'd love to be able to make sure that we're able to ask Brad that as well. So I'll let Ali kind of take a look at the comments. Brad, how, so you have this kind of this posture of saying, okay, I'm just going to be me. I'm going to send out my videos. Tell me a little bit about just when you decide to send a video. What's a little bit of your structure, or when you do a video versus sending out a text email?
Oh, yeah. So the short answer is probably you want to send a video as much as possible. I like them. I think they're fun. I got a video from you, Jason. It's like, oh, right. It reminded me how fun it is to get a video. It's nice. We love video. So that's the short answer. But if someone calls me and says, I'm interested in using you as a speaker, I call them. And then if I don't get them, I send them a video, because they're going to get a phone message from me. In addition, it's like, I'm sorry I missed you. Hey, I'd love to talk. Here's the answer to the question you emailed me, but I'd love to talk. Because I know they're going to look at the video. It works.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I use it as follow-up. But at the end, I don't really have a science to this. It's like, yeah, if in doubt, use it. They love it for thank yous. Hello, lead. Nice to meet you. They love it too. Thanks for the call. They like it for thanks for hiring me. They like it. Your friends like it when you say happy birthday in a video? Come on. The answer is always.
I think, and the reason I'm digging into that, Brad, is partly just because this is sometimes the message I wish our audience could hear more often, is that a lot of people overthink video. And a lot of people think, okay, I got to have a strategy. I got to know when. What am I going to say? And the reality is you already know what you're going to say. And when it's appropriate. It's not rocket science. It's not like this magical silver bullet that if you do it the right way at the right time, that the right outcome is going to be. It's when you just do it and you send a video, the results follow. I think that's what you're speaking to.
Yes. Yeah. I agree. Overthinking. I've had peers of mine who have tried video and say, it just doesn't fit me, or I don't use it enough because I hear a lot from women because my makeup wasn't right, and my hair wasn't right, and I wasn't dressed right. And you're a guy, so you can wear what you want, and you don't even have hair, so it's just. and I think they're wrong, and you're right. I think they just think too much, and honestly, for my women pals, to show here's a picture of what they look like on stage in front of an audience, and here's what they look like really when they're working. It just seems like we love them more. So, but you're right. They think about what they're wearing, and then they think, you're right. Do I need a script, and do I have to do it 4 times? And no, just cut it. Like, you're communicating. Video is a communication tool. It's not a style of communication. It's not it's not anything brand new. It's just a way to communicate. Do the way you communicate, do that in video.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I definitely say that whenever I receive a video email from like a video influencer, someone we're talking to a lot at BombBomb, and they're not like wearing makeup, I'm always like, oh my gosh, like they just did it. They went for it. And I love it. And I think that, more women should be able to embrace that and feel confident in that. And it's just like your Columbia jacket, like you're saying, you almost feel like you're talking to somebody that already, and people kind of like relate to you more than if you were kind of dressed up and overdone. But I also think I wanted to ask about on your YouTube, you were doing a lot of like topics on change and growth and things like that. How do you content plan for those kind of videos? When do you decide like what topic you're going to hit?
I don't know. If you could figure out the answer to that, Allie, come over to my office and teach me. Crying out loud, that's hard. Remind me of that question, because I'm going to answer it, but I wanted to talk about the makeup just for 1 second.
Yeah, totally.
I'm not a woman, and I don't wear makeup, so maybe I don't get this, but my spidey sense and my personal gut feeling is that all women think about makeup a lot. And if you're a woman and you see another woman without makeup, you think strength and bravery and self-confidence. You don't think anything bad. You only think positive things. And I know I would think that if I saw a woman who just says, like, I just came in from the gym, that's what I look like, I'd be more interested in them, because I'm like, they've got this. They're not insecure. They know they're good. So for what it's worth. How do we content plan for the other things? That I don't have a magic bullet for that. I'm always looking for stuff that I want to put on stage. So part of my process is, if I have this idea or, a kind of a half-baked thing, often it starts out as a video. And I'm kind of hoping it's going to end up for me on stage. Occasionally, it's the other way, where I have something that's working with audiences, and I'm like, oh, that'd be a good video, and I'll pull it the other way. So, but honestly, I don't have a great system, Allie. I wish you, if you feel like you'd like to teach me, I'd love that.
It is Allie's job. She keeps us very organized in our content calendar. So most of what you see coming from BombBomb is because Allie and the team have done a good job of planning it out and making it happen. What I love about that is, I think it's an interesting concept for a lot of people to think about, is that video is a great place to test material. And it doesn't matter whether you're a real estate agent educating people, whether you're trying to share ideas, but like putting a video out there is kind of a nice way. It lets you communicate it, kind of get better at it. And then it lets you kind of test the market, if you will, of whether or not an idea works based on interactions and comments. And I think a lot of people need to feel more confident to be able to put content out in the world to test it and see if it's going to work and see if it's going to translate. Where, like, is that like how, when you think about that type of stuff and you're working new content, are you reading comments? Are you paying attention to likes and shares?
Yeah.
Or do you just kind of...
Yeah. I don't have a huge social media presence. I am not a giant. I don't have the huge one, but I've got a few thousand people who look what I do. And it does work a little bit, just what you're saying. So I put up this video and people share it and people like it. And whatever that means for you, in my case, it doesn't mean viral. It just means more than usual.
Right.
And then I realized, I guess that, dang it, they like that topic, or they like the title or something that they like. And there's other ones I put up, I'm like, I can't believe how good this is. It's fantastic. And they don't like it. So they don't. It could be the video sucks. or it could be I just did it poorly, but probably the topic isn't right. So yeah, I think that's a good thing. And I would imagine in jobs that aren't like mine, if you're in sales or whatever, and you have a kind of a broad concept of here's what you need to know about house buying, you know, it's easy to see the one that people look at and send to their sister. And then, you know, hey, that's pretty good. They like that. I should do more of that.
And it's not about being viral. I think that's an important thing for people to know, is that it's about your like hyper local sphere of influence, right? I think that's where you want to be tapping into, and especially that space where that's who's paying attention to you. It's not about numbers, but it's your audience, and they will give you feedback. They'll let you know what's working and what's not working.
Yeah.
So
my job is very niched. The people who can afford me, who have a meeting that would use someone like me and like me, that's a tiny percentage of the globe.
Yeah.
So for me, like going broad it just doesn't seem like a great investment of my time, and I've never really gone after it. But that means all I need is one person to say, yeah, I like that, and then make a call. And that's a really good day. And I imagine a lot of people are like that. You don't need a million people. You need one person over the course of the next year to see this content and say, "No, meant something to me. I liked it."
Yep. Love it. I think that's spot on. Well, as we kind of wrap up, typically we try to keep this to about a half hour to be respectful of your time, Brad. So appreciate you coming on, sharing your insights and your wisdom, and just how to this idea of just getting comfortable in your own skin. I mean, it's something that we talk about a lot on a high level, but I feel like going a little bit deeper is so helpful. You know, as you think about, as people get in and start doing more and more video, or they're looking for some stuff, you know, is there any other advice or any other things that you feel like experientially that you've learned is just important for people to keep in mind?
Yeah, I got a good one. Yeah, here's the deal. Your second video is better than your first video, and your third video is better than your second video, and your 20th video is better than your 10th video. So the only way you get there is get started. Let's go. Turn on the camera and just know it's a process, and know you can't have done 20 videos until you've done 20 videos. And by the time you do 100, you're better at it. And you can't get to 100 unless you've done the first 1 and 2 and 99. So don't think. Just start that process of saying, I know the first one's not as good, so let's get it over with. Let's get to the 4th one and the 14th one and the 400th one. That's when you start to feel good, and you can't get there unless you start. So whatever's holding you back, stop it. Just stop it. It doesn't work. Go.
Love it. I could not agree more. Brad, thanks so much. Anything, Allie, that we need to wrap up on? Anything on Facebook that we've missed?
No, I think we're good.
Awesome. All righty. Well, thank you again, Brad, for your time. This has been fantastic. Everybody, thank you for joining us this week for the In the Car edition of the BombCast. We love doing this week in and week out, providing value for you guys. Make sure you join us next week. Same time, same place. We'll be live here on Facebook. Have a great rest of your day.